the results quite obvious.
And what results are those?
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade and welcome to another edition of Boxtalk. Today we've got Spencer Fearon, the Knowledge, joining us on the show today for a very special edition of This Week in Boxing. Spencer, how's it going, mate?
No, man, it's going wicked, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, this is something. This is something. People say like, you guys are knowledgeable, and we're like, oh, we're all right, and then we bring this guy in. So we'll see how we hang. We'll see how we hang today.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Loads of stuff this week. We'll have a few fights over the weekend, and let's start with this week's fights. Let's start with Joseph Parker for Bowie Tapui. Got first round KO.
Yeah, he's this heavyweight sensation that everyone's excited about, and it's hard for me to get excited about anyone in the heavyweight division right now that has this 12-0, 30-0, because you watch how he's been matched, and he's been matched very carefully. I want to see Joseph Parker fight outside of New Zealand. Let's see what he's got now. Even an Eastern European, chuck him in with someone. I don't know. I wouldn't say like Shagayev or someone that high, but let's put him in with someone so we know where he is.
Someone that could give him rounds.
Exactly, because these first round stoppages are good, but what do they mean? And he fought for all these random titles yesterday. I don't know, PBAF, NABO, WBC, African heavyweight champion.
Yeah, and he's from Netherlands. Yeah. I know. And you know what? I've seen him a couple times because they was on YouTube. They were talking about the top 10 prospects. Yeah. He was one of them, and he's decent, man. Yeah. We can't. So he's decent. Got very good hands. Yeah. Like he's not that big a guy. You know what I mean? But he's got very good punch dexterity and like his variety of punch pick. He's neat. He's like a cool fighter, man. And when we're saying like what's he gonna do? He's just new in the game, so we can't expect him to do nothing more than what he's doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm telling you this now. Go look at Mike Tyson's record. Yeah. I love Mike, but go look at Mike Tyson's early career when he was just banging that man every other week. Yeah. Go look at Frank Bruno. Yeah. You understand? And in those days, Mickey Duff and those guys and Terry Lawless, there weren't no box rec around, so they could sell any piece of garbage.
Okay, let's move forward with our last night fights in the UK. Dillian White got a first round knockout over the Brazilian guy. I can't remember the guy's name. Spencer, what do you think?
Very good. I mean, me and Dylan's Dylan's real, you know. Yeah. Trust me, I've known Dylan from baby days. I was meant to manage Dylan, you know that. Yeah. When he first came on the scene, he was brought down to me by Leroy Harris, who a guy who used to work with me and Danny Williams when we were amateurs. And Leroy Harris said, I've got this kid, he does a bit of kickboxing, but he can fight. And like, he came down, he was around us, and like, at that time, I was running the Real Fight Club, that's from my office where I was running Hard Knocks as well. And Chris Oko was in the gym. And when Chris Oko was in the gym, Chris Oko saw Dylan and was salivating. He was like, oh, gotta get this kid. And there's a cruiserweight kid called Zach McQuasser. Zach can punch. Go Google him, right? Zach, like, he's a knockout. If he don't knock you out, you're gonna knock him out. He's one of them youths, right? But he's fix it. You know what I mean? He could be a family. You know? He's like fix it. Right? And Robert McCracken was in the gym with us because all Carl Froch, all the Hennessy boys were training in the gym at that time. And like Robert McCracken said, oh, you want to sign him straight away? And like he sparred then with Zach McQuasser, then he sparred with Derek Chisora, and I was there and I witnessed a spar with him and Derek Chisora, and he handled Derek at the time. You know what I mean? And maybe Derek, who reminds me of Blanca from Street Fighter, will maybe want to try and deny it and say, but that's what did happen. But you know what? We can't complain anything about what Derek was done in respective career. He's done great stuff. But I was very impressed with Dillian White for the simple fact is this. You see Anthony Joshua, the fight's penciled in for December. Yeah. Right, you can see already now he's working with Jonathan Banks. Yeah. And Jonathan Banks was trained and mentored by the late great Emmanuel Stewart. You can see the implementation on his jab. You see, with Dylan Wright, he was trying jab to the head, jab to the body. He's calling himself the body snatcher now. He's watching a lot of. He's watching a lot. No, Dylan's a student on boxing, right? So he's watching a lot of Mike McCallum, and he's encapsulating that into what he's doing. And you've got Jonathan Banks. And I'm telling you this now. You see this fight because Gary Logan, former Southern area and three-time British title challenger, he phoned me up and he said, listen, I'm sorry to blow you up on this one, Gary's alright, but Gary was saying to me, if Dylan gets a proper American trainer and does certain things, right, this was months ago, right, and does certain things, he most probably could beat Anthony Joshua because of the technicalities in which Anthony Joshua is being taught right now and what things, but don't get twisted at all because Tony Sims, he's old school. Tony Sims, who trains Anthony Joshua, watches a lot of Archie Moore, watch a lot of Ed Charles, watches old school. So, you know what I mean? But it's exciting times for boxing, man. I was impressed with Dillian White.
Yeah, Dillian White looked really good. I really want to see this fight with Dillian White and Anthony Joshua because right now Anthony Joshua fights with no fear. He needs to have that fear element because right, he's a steamrolls guys. He needs to know, guess what, this guy's my pair, he's my type of size.
He's not going to think that though.
I think he's going to think that.
He's not, trust me, you see that, I'm telling you, I know Anthony, you know.
Yeah.
Anthony's a cool you. You know what the sad thing is this, I know both sides.
Yeah.
But I'm being real now. And I'm glad that I'm around the brothers. So I'm going to say, I'm just being real. This fight is going to be a road fight. When you go into simple things. Right. And but in this fight, this is road because this is bragging rights for being in the hood, but then also being mainstream. Yeah. This is like, this is bragging rights for when you're going to the dances and the clubs and you're seeing like, all, you know what I mean? Because see, the thing with Anthony Joshua, I have not met a girl, white, black, Asian that don't fancy him.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, everyone fancies that.
Ridiculous. I would never have him around without raving.
No, I'm telling you, I would. I'd just get his daybreak.
Okay, let's move forward with Ricky Burns' fight. Let's not talk about the fight because Ricky Burns it's a stoppage. Ridiculous stoppage. I've never seen an opponent so shocked. He actually caught the own towel and looked like, and he actually froze for like 10 seconds.
You know what it is?
I couldn't believe it.
I'm telling you how it is this, right? For real. People get gassed by TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a big occasion. You're fighting and like that was the fight. That was the fight. 2 fights before the main bill. So they had 15,000 down in Hull, right? You have to props Eddie Hearn for that.
That's bloody big numbers.
That's wicked numbers.
Unbelievable.
In Hull, you know. Hull is a shithole. Yeah, I'm telling you that now. They haven't lost his British out there. As soon as he lost, that's how I'm getting out of it. Right? I can say that on there. I can't say that on Sky, right? And guys get gassed, TV on you and blah and everything else. And I know his trainer, Oscar. He works down at Peacock. And sometimes people just get gassed with occasions like, "I'm the man now," blah, and you're not doing. I thought. This is what I thought. I thought that the Ghanaian guy came over and it's like there's a guy Kofi. I forgot Kofi's surname who brings them over from Ghana. And I think his plane was booked for 10:30. The same night. It was 8:30 and they're thinking about it by the time they. So you know what? Throw the towel in.
Honestly, no, it was bad. And for Ricky Burns, he's in a position where lightweights are starting to step up again in this country. When he kind of was even like that marquee lightweight, you couldn't see any lightweight touching him in the country. Honestly, you couldn't see any. You fought Kevin Mitchell, destroyed him. That was easy. You think, okay, who else is out there? When you see Luke Campbell coming through now, Anthony Crawler looked good against Perez. I just kind of feel I don't know where he is. Is he going to stay at 135? Went to 140. He's obviously too small for 140. And the guys at 140 are machines. You don't want to go in there with Matisse or Pavondikov or anyone like that. And 135 over here, does he really want to start from the bottom again? See, it's a former world champion. Is he really going to start from the bottom again? I don't know.
The problem I got with Ricky is that Ricky's obviously we went through the whole bankruptcy thing, so he's trying to get fights. But he's on that downward spiral.
Because he broke.
No, I'm saying he's got a fight. What? He's got a fight, but this stoppage slows his progression because he's been on a downward spiral. So instead of getting a good win, so he could move on for him.
Yeah, but he got a lot. You see, like when he fought Figueroa, he got a lot of props. He got a lot of steam for that fight. People thought they were just going to get broke up. It was disgusting refereeing in that fight, and he was fighting in a man's backyard. And he performed amiably. We got to give Ricky all the credit in the world for that. I'm saying, like, when you're looking at these guys, this is how tables shift. Because you would tip Kevin Mitchell to deal with him in a rematch. Yes. You wouldn't. Yes. But even though that fight ain't going to happen because they're both at the same camps. But you would tip Kevin to deal with him. Right now, Anthony Crawler looked the business. He did look the business in the Perez fight. And Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell was massive. Jesus.
Luke Campbell looked good, man.
He did, didn't he? He looked
very good.
Well, while we're talking about Luke Campbell, let's carry on with Luke Campbell and Tommy Coyle.
So you're not going to touch it? You're not going to touch on Carson Jones?
We're going to touch Carson Jones, but I've always got with Luke Campbell.
Cool. I was impressed with him. I was impressed with him. But more than that, the moral victor of that fight was Tommy Cole. You know what I mean? Now,
good point you're making.
I know it was a moral victor because you know what? I realistically remember I'm at Sky, so I ain't gonna gun a Sky fight to the heights, but I have to talk truth. But I never thought that Tommy Cole was going past 6 rounds.
I thought
he was gonna get broke up.
I thought 3 or 4. I mean, 3 or 4 he's gone.
You know what I mean? And I question fighters who go over from, I'm saying like, what did you really? I question fighters who go over from body shots.
Yeah.
If you go from in the Bruce Wayne fight, he was down about 70 times from body shots. Right? Now, like I'm saying, right? Now, you're with a trainer now. I ain't knocking Jamie Moore because Jamie's my boy and he's very positive. Yeah. He's on this thing. He's, the guy lives on the secret. He's got the secret title all over him. You know what I'm saying? He's on this thing, right? I'm saying, if you're going over from body shots, wouldn't you know, like, I've got a defect here, let me improve that defect. You know what I mean? It was too much, he ain't never been in a fight. This thing is called boxing. And to quote Denzel Washington, this is chess and not checkers, man. And that's how he got broken down. I was impressed with Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell is a mix between Alexis Arguello and Oscar De La Hoya. And if you merge those two, he's in between the speed of those guys, but his punch picking is so accurate, and the guy's a spiteful human being. Don't get fooled by that little sweet boy thingy. That boy's a Satan.
I think Eddie Hearn, he almost needed. Look, Luke Campbell came through as that Olympic gold medalist with Andy Joshua. Of the two of them, Luke Campbell was supposed to be the golden boy, the one that come through and does this. Obviously, outside things with his dad, he's not really had the fights he wanted to have. This is the fight. Look, it wasn't a competitive fight, but it's the fight that breaks him through again. Like, here's Luke Campbell, what's he going to do? They're already talking about Scotty Cardle for that British title. I don't know yet if I want to see him have that fight, but if he does...
Why?
I like Scotty Cardle.
So what does that mean? I like both guys. Well, why you don't...
I think he needs one more before Scotty Cardle.
Why would he need one more fight before
Scotty Cardle? You think he's ready for Scotty Cardle now?
I think when you're developing a fighter, you want fighters that you call capitals or something. We all knew Tommy Cole had opportunities for Luke Campbell. I don't see many opportunities for him with Scotty Cardle, where Scotty Cardle seems to be a more complete fighter.
Alright, cool, I hear that. But why wouldn't you want to see him fight?
I just think, like, it's too quick.
Why is it too quick?
I'm not sure how highly I rated.
Stop,
I'm not sure how highly I rated Tommy Coyle. I said he destroyed Tommy Coyle in 2 or 3.
Right, cool.
And it went a lot longer than I thought it was going to go.
I'm not. Let me just tell you this now, right? He's a professional fighter.
Yes.
And I'm going back to Gary Logan. Gary Logan, you have to pay me some money because I'm quoting your name quite regular. Me and Gary talk regular. We talk on boxing, right? And Gary was saying to me, Tommy Cole ain't the best lightweight in the country. Luke Campbell, right now, is the best lightweight in the country.
You said that?
Because when he was an amateur, he was fighting the world's best. He's fighting Cubans, he's fighting all the Mexicans, he's fighting the Chinese, the Japanese guys, the Russian man there, which has been broken up. And so he's been in there with all. So every style, you can't bring no style to him, he ain't used to it. He's like some kung fu master right now, you understand? That's what he's like. He's like Jackie Chan in Jungle Master when they drink the wine and start break up the whole place.
Brian Rose versus Carson Jones in a very entertaining fight. I predicted Brian Rose was going to win the fight. Addy was on the other side.
I said Carson Jones would stop him later.
I thought Brian Rose fought the wrong fight, but he fought with passion. And I think that's something that you have to hold to him and say, guess what? After everything he's going through with those early stoppages last time, and he's lost to Demetrius Andrade, he actually come back and said, look, I've got fire.
I still don't know where he is. I'll be straight with you. I mean, look, he's a good fighter, but I look at the 154 division in the world, and he's in trouble. You put him with any guy in the top 10, even in the top 15. The likes of K9, you know, even the likes of the Charlo brothers are there, Andrade's obviously there.
Forget the Charlo brothers.
You know what I mean? The monsters.
But you know what? Eddie ain't stupid, John. Eddie ain't gonna put him
any route to a title is a tough route now, and I just don't know where he is. I mean, Carson Jones is a good fighter.
He's gonna do 154. He's gonna do 160.
He has to, isn't it? He
can't make the weight. And the sad thing is, he done a lot of sparring with Larry Cadile like a few months ago, and Larry's badass. Larry's wicked.
I like that.
I mean, Larry's an incredible fighter, and he's not really a puncher. And when you're moving up, when you're at middleweight, if you ain't no silky slick boxer can twist up, man, then you can't crack on top of it. Now you hit Carson Jones, who first campaigned as a light welterweight. Let's not get twisted over this, right? You pulled back and you gave the man one rasting of a clap, and he didn't do nothing to him. Nothing to him, right? So I got my reservations there but loads of props, because you went back in the ring with a man that stopped you. And much you want to complain about the stoppage, you was going to get knocked out anyway. I'm telling you that now, right? You was gone, right? And you got hurt it was the second round he got hurt, right?
Yeah, and this one's
second round he got clapped, right? So all the credit in the world should be given to you for that, for how you come back and you turn around the tables. And you know what? There's going to be opportunity, but not only that, but domestically there are loads of good fights. Especially if you fight at 160, there are loads of good fights. There are loads of good fights for you. You and Chris Eubank Jr. could be a fight. I mean that you're doing that weight there. You got Nick Blackwell. You go for the whole list.
Fitzpatrick. Is it Fitzpatrick, the guy that fights in Ireland? I can't remember his name now. That's been calling out Chris Eubank Jr. on Twitter.
Yeah, the Irish guy.
Can't remember his name. He looked drained at the weigh, and I thought he looked really drained. But look, he's gonna have problems. Even at 160 in this country, he has problems. Like you say, he's not a puncher. He's not flashy.
Yeah.
He does ABC very well. But when you go to certain levels, you need to see what DEF's got, and I think he hasn't got that.
I think middleweight is the best decision for him. As you said, the top guys at 154 are too much for him. Yeah. The top guys at 160, it's got a stronger top, i.e. with GGG and Cotto, who's a Hall of Famer. Below that, you can make moves. So you can fight your peers and be a contender. Let's go with Daniel Jacobs and Sergio Mora.
Yeah.
I said on Boxtalk a few months ago about Daniel Jacobs that undeniably, you watch him, he's got skill. He's fluid, he's got combinations, he's got good balance, got punches, he does everything well. But I can't see him being a dominant champion or being the top of the division. He seems to have something missing in terms of not toughness, not grittiness, but something's missing in this fight. And this fight asked that question as well. Sergio Mora cannot punch for nothing. Let's be fair. And he got put down hard.
Up there with Malignaggi for like
he got put down hard. The problem with Danny Jacobs, as good as he is, as skillful he is, he looks vulnerable. I don't know what it is. I can't see what he's doing, why it makes him look vulnerable. Could be the Fearon fight. What's missing with Danny Jacobs?
Why? I don't know. I don't think anything's missing. I think maybe he's just reached his level. But I'm saying, like, regardless of whatever, you hold a version of a world title, even though world titles are so greatly fragmented. But I'm saying that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you've held a world title. I did a lot of work with him back in 2000 and 2007 when we flew out to America, and a couple of boys who were training with him and stuff like that, and sparring with him and Peter Quillen, because them two are body fights, you know. Right? But at that time there was a lot of hype about Danny Jacobs. A lot of hype about him. He was like New York Golden Glove champion about 50,000 times and stuff like that. So everyone was on him. Shilly Finkel was around him regular, and I spent a lot of time with him when I was up in his camp. So and I just rate the guy. I rate the guy for what he's come through. He beat cancer. So I'm saying that, you know what? Maybe that was something that's missing. But I'm saying, right, that fight that you fought to beat cancer, you know what I mean? You're the undisputed multi-weight champion of the world to me. That's it. I love the youth. He's a nice youth. But yes, if he was to go and fight, you know what I mean? I'd like to see him and Billy Joe Saunders. If that, you know what I mean? That would be good match. I'd like to see. You know what I mean? If Billy Joe could get rid of Andy Lee, which I'm not too sure about that fight, to tell you on the truth. You know what I mean? I'm on the fence for that fight. And that's not me. That's a really good fight.
No, it is. And you mentioned something in there, and maybe I think we as fans need to kind of realise that as well. As much as we want to see all these boxers go to these great heights, maybe it's just levels sometimes. Yeah. Every sport you do reach a level and where you can't go that much further.
You can't.
And so you're right, Danny Jacobs being a regular world champion isn't bad, and battling cancer is unbelievable. For even to be in the ring.
Man. That's it.
You know what I mean? Even being in the rings is unbelievable. So yeah, I'm gonna hold back. But I think we saw a few holes in the Mora fight, so it's a case of good matchmaking. He's called out Quillen, so it's a fight that probably will happen. They're both with PBC. Al
Heyman say, look, that's the fight that we can make. You want to make $1 million each? Say, my boy, I want to make $1 million each. Yeah, put the friendship go to one side. Go fight, man.
Let's go with the main event for the weekend, which was Danny Garcia versus Paulie Malignaggi. Danny Garcia cannot get out of the boxing basement right now.
Yeah.
Why? Danny Garcia's been making some dodgy decisions recently, so we put him in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a few people in the basement right now.
Who else is in there? Tell me the names.
Ian John Lewis.
God, and we hating. I thought you knew my family. You know what I mean? The high colour black man.
Julio Cesar Chavez in there for not making weight. Because can't make weight. Can't make weight. Adonis Stevenson, because we want to see the Kovalev fight, we want to see Hopkins fight, we want to see Pascal fight, and he's fighting Beaker and other guys.
All messed up. And who else is in there? There's 6 in there right now.
6?
Garcia's in there.
Garcia,
not happy with Kid Chocolate for not fighting, for not calling that anyone. I want to see him fight Julio.
Down 1.6 million.
Yeah, for the Cobra fight, but there's a few.
Yeah,
there's a few.
Danny Garcia is in the basement. He's going to stay in the basement for one particular reason. He's marquee pickpocketed this fight.
He what?
He pickpocketed this fight for a reason. That Paulie Malignaggi is a smaller guy who's been inactive. Last fight he got stopped by Sean Porter in 4 rounds. And yes, Danny Garcia won, but I didn't feel no impression. I didn't think it was an impressive performance. I think in terms of what
Did you really think that was going to be he was going to be impressive against Paulie Malignaggi? He was never ever going to be. You have to look on stylistically how he fights.
But Danny Garcia was considered pound for pound top 10 by most people.
Considered?
Yes, yeah.
Past 10.
Yeah, because of the Pereira fight and because of the Peterson fight. And when you got someone like Paulie Malignaggi who is semi-retired, in all honesty, I think you should look on a better performance.
Yeah, but you have to be real. A lot of people, EJ Boxing Live, they all tipped Paulie to win that fight,
Yeah.
right? A lot of the guys, they were saying, right, Paulie's going to win the fight. I feel like Paulie could cause the upset because what I do realise with Danny Garcia, that he can't handle movement and he can't handle boxing. So you got to look at the Herrera fight. He never won that fight.
No, he didn't win that fight.
He never won that fight. He never beat Peterson either.
Yeah.
And right, so you can't handle movement. So I thought maybe the old wily boy in Paulie Malignaggi, who's like my Sky brother, you know what I mean? So it's like, I thought maybe Paulie could out hustle him, but deep down inside, when I was asked to give my prediction, I said, right, I said like Garcia on points. So for Garcia to stop him, that was a surprise to me. So like, I know he's in your basement, but maybe he can just come up a little piece out of the basement to get a little bit of air out of the basement, and just put him back down in the doldrums. Right, perfect fight for him would be him versus Sean Porter.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Perfect fight. That's the fight.
I see that fight happen.
And that'll be a fight of the year candidate.
I see that fight happen. He's asked after the fight. I think he asked for Porter or Furman. And Furman, I'm still iffy with Furman as well in terms of where I think Furman.
Well, cool. I'm glad that you like Furman.
I'm not sure about Furman.
Let me tell you this now. Furman, me and Ashley Fearon were there in the gym, and Furman,
inside stuff.
right? Furman sparred with Sean Porter, and Sean Porter beat it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was sparring, but I'm saying, right, I see the little short.
Hold yourself there.
I saw that little short man, Sean Porter, punch you up. Bruv.
Sean Porter's style, it breaks your rhythm, that's why. He comes in with those funny angles,
Yeah, he does. But he beat him up. That's it.
Yeah.
He just beat him up.
When is the rematch? 147, Garcia Khan.
Can't.
Okay, interesting. Ooh, wait.
Split decision.
Okay, let's start with the news, and let's start with Demetrius Andrade. This week, the WBO has now stripped him of his belt for being inactive. Also, his promoters, Banner Promotions, and the other one is, what's that one? Star Promotions, have sued Rock Nation for interfering with his contract.
I knew there was a reason he was out of the ring.
Also, Andrade has sued Rock Nation individually as well. Basically,
Andrade has sued Rock Nation.
Yeah, both of them are sued. Basically, he's saying what's happened is that they interfered with his contract. They were going to sign him. He's going to be the first person on Rock Nation. They told him to turn down the Charlo fight, and they would have paid him 500.
I said all this.
500. The whole statement's out there. £550,000. They will pay him as a replacement for the fight. They didn't pay him, didn't sign him, and never negotiated. They said they're going to negotiate with Star Boxing. Never negotiated. That's the reason why Andrade has been inactive, and he turned down the Charlo fight. Bad management, 100%.
No, but a lot of it's got to be based on greed as well, right?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Greed.
There's greed. Let me tell you about these boxing. There's greed, which is understandable because it's human nature. But there should be within your moral coding of how you've been brought up that you've got loyalty to certain things. You say, well, boy, if some people brought me to this position where I am now, where everyone's running me down, world title, and don't get twisted. He was helping out. He was helping out Sean Porter for the Paulie Malignaggi fight out in Vegas, and Ashley Fearon said, "No, he's real." You know what I mean? He said, "Trust me, the brother's real. Good fighter, man. Well accomplished amateur." But sometimes it's like people are gonna come to you and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna offer you this," and you're gonna get gassed because you think Rock Nation, that's Jay-Z, man. So you're gonna get gassed when you're hearing all these names. It's like, oh, you just get gassed. You just gotta be real and say, all right, then, well, boy, at the end of the day, man, let me just fulfill my contract and let me fight. Do you know what I mean? Because an active fighter is a dangerous fighter, and a dangerous fighter is a thinking fighter. And if you ain't doing that, then you know what I mean, you're in trouble. And for all your talents, he's immensely talented. Yeah, right. Agreed. But you're gonna start slipping when all of these contractual disagreements and all the rest of it start coming to play, and well, I'm gonna sue this one, I'm gonna sue that one, or blah blah blah. If it's hearsay, you can't bring hearsay into court. You know?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I've already said that a lot of these boxers, look, boxers are short career. At best. If at best you're going to get to 34, 35. Look, Hopkins, forget it. That doesn't happen. Yeah. These boxers now, look, Andrade's in his physical peak in terms of, what is he, 24, 25? We saw he dominated Rose, and I thought this guy was going to go on and on and on. Look, $500,000, I can say he can get gas with that, but he'll make money. Look, he wins the belts and he keeps on going on and on. He'll make that money. So when he's out for a year, it just makes him stale. We saw what happened to Andre Ward, how stale he was. Remember Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins?
How bad was Andre Ward? I'm not disrespecting Paul Smith because Paul's my brethren, but how bad was he in that Paul Smith fight? He looked bad in that.
His timing was off. Everything that you look at him for, his timing, everything was off.
Apparently, he was walking around over 200 pounds. That's what happens when you're an athlete, but you don't fight for. You fight twice in 2 years.
That guy, I'm being real. I mean that Andre Ward could not fight James DeGale, you know. And you say, wow, what are you talking about? I'm telling you this now.
I'm very high on James DeGale. That version of Andre Ward, yeah.
So James DeGale would tear that guy up.
I tell you what,
I'll sell it. I don't care what anyone say. He would tear him up.
This is what I say about James DeGale all the time, yeah. As tight as he is, and he's got power and he's got technique, he seems to lose his control in the ring where he like turns off a round or two. If he turns off at the highest level, I think he might be found out. But he's got to keep the light switch on.
Wait. Who did he just fight? Who did James DeGale fight?
That's the highest level.
That's the highest level.
That's the highest level.
I mean, you are not gonna fight another badder boy than that, you know. Apart from if you say, right, I'm gonna go jump with Ward. You ain't gonna fight a badder boy than that.
Agreed.
And how it's not that you're fighting. You're not on your home patch. You're fighting all kind of things and stuff like that, and you got your own demons and stuff. And James DeGale should be commended because I've seen him grow up as a man because he used to be a right dickhead.
Let's move forward. Tony Thompson gets reported as failing a drug test in his fight with David Price. This drug test was apparently over 2 years ago, and it's only been released this week.
Listen, I don't care about that because you know why? Because Temper last week, that guy looked like Brutus from Popeye, right? Brutus, isn't it? You're just waiting for Popeye to come in and just pop the spinach and punch him up, right? But if you look on that, the writing's on the wall for David Price anyway. So I don't care about him failing because it was like 2 years ago. End of the day, he beat you twice. So what fight was it? The first fight or the second fight?
Second fight.
So what? He knocked you. So the first fight, he broke you up, though, innit?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not interested.
Agreed.
And you had Lennox Lewis working with you as well. I don't want to hear it, man.
But I want to clarify is that, in my opinion, I don't think David Price failed the drug. Tony Thompson failed the drug test. But he's failed on a technicality. There was a report that's gone out that the UKAD agrees that he does have high blood pressure and he does require the medication, but in the time it took to get the information out and through all the altercations back and forth, they've banned him on a technicality. I think it's really poor.
Has he been banned?
No, they banned him for 18 months, but backdated to September 2013, so the ban finished already. But I think it's poor on the British press, whereas they're selling it as a failed drug test.
It don't make no difference though. Regardless whether they're selling it as a failed drug test or not, when we know that it's like on a technicality ground. We know what happened really and truly, but we also know the result. You know what I mean? The result was that before he came over and he knocked you out when you fought like Ra, and this is when he burst your bubble. Right? In the first fight, and he burst your bubble real bad.
Big time.
I mean, Darren Hamilton was defending his British title that night against Steve Williams, and was down there. And I like David Price. He's a lovely guy, lovely guy. But something missing in your mindset, in your mental psyche. So I don't care whether the man was on drugs, whether the man took a baseball bat in the ring, whether they had a sawn off, whatever. You lost the fight, and you can't come with the little trickeries. Then isn't this?
And that's what they're trying to do, basically. That's what they're trying to do. Obviously, David Price lost 2 weeks ago.
It's horrible.
And they're almost trying to, if you like, backdate his career by saying, well,
it's not going to help anyway. It doesn't make no difference. You got knocked out in the last fight.
David Price is done.
But I'd like to see them talk about David Price. I'd like to see David Price and Zora get on.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, we're entertaining fight. We'll be very entertaining.
As it stands right now, it's kind of a crossroads fight, both of them.
Well, we kind of. It's a crossroads fight. No, it's so bad. It's a crossroads.
Rumor has it that Andre Ward might be on the undercard of Cotto Canelo. They're trying to push it big time.
Andre Ward needs to push it big time. As good as Andre Ward, the boxer, this is the thing about boxing right nowadays. It's like, as good as you can be, if you don't entertain the masses, unfortunately, you could just be the best boxer with no money. Andre Ward needs to make some some money right now. You know what I mean? He must look at the Mayweather packet, he must look at Cotter's pack and think, geez, these guys are making some serious money. Andre Ward fought Chad Dawson. So with the light heavyweight king coming down to fight the super middleweight king, which should be just a monster occasion. They had like 2,500 people in the arena, they said. 2,500 people in the arena. I mean, imagine if that fight was over here in the UK You would sell out anything.
Ram.
It was ridiculous. You know how many people would go?
Exactly.
He's just got a big name. He thinks it's a big name. He's not a big name.
It's going to be undoubtedly the second biggest pay-per-view
of all time
of the year.
No, of all time. I think it could break. It could break Oscar and Mayweather. You know,
take out egos, take out his inactivity, all the suing with Dan Goose and everything he had to go through. Get on this pay-per-view has to be a must.
To see him against someone now, top 10. Give me someone top 10.
It's been announced already that in his contract, or when he signed his contract over, he's going to have 2 warm-up fights, he said. And he's not sure he's going to weigh 168 or not. That's also why he didn't want to fight GGG or the rumours for G, because he's not ready. He's having his warm-up fights. On the pay-per-view, in a warm-up fight, he needs a blowout. He needs a knockout. Let's be honest.
Nah, he don't need a blowout.
Who does he knock out?
I don't know.
I can't remember the last Andre Ward knockout. I mean, sorry, pause. Oh yeah, Chad Dawson. Yes. What was that? 10th round.
10th round.
Yeah. That wasn't even a knockout. He quit. That was the weight's too. There's too much. How did Chad Dawson even make 168? I can't even think of it in my head now. He even made 168. What do you think? Andre Ward in the card?
Good fight. It depends on who he's going to fight though.
Yeah.
Because right now you're going to say, well, then who is he going to fight? Yeah, I mean, if I was Andre Ward, I would move up to like heavyweight.
All day.
Right? Bust up Bivadev, who's a gangster. Right? Yeah. Bust up Kovalev, who's winding me up. You know what I mean? Kovalev just likes to beat up black people. I've said it.
Hey,
right?
for real? Hey.
You know what I mean? I'd like to see Andre Ward in with them man there, because Andre Ward is a big guy. And if they're saying he's coming down for 200 pounds, you know what I mean? For you to do, for you to do 25
172? 173?
Yeah.
175.
You should box those guys, because you know what? You got enough skill and enough capabilities to beat those guys.
And they're money fights as well.
Yeah.
Good money fights.
Alright, let's go. Shane Mosley, Ricardo Mayorga. I know Addy's not a big fan of this fight at all.
What the hell's going on?
Is Shane Mosley broke?
What's the average?
Is he broke?
Shane Mosley has said this week, I'm a bigger threat than Andre Berto, implying he should fight Mayweather.
Yeah.
Then he said, I will fight Amir Khan.
I will knock out Amir Khan.
I will knock out Amir. You saw it as well.
If he lands.
Then Mayorga is saying that I'll beat Mosley in 3 rounds. I'll KO him. Then Mosley said something along the lines of, Mayorga's so big and so heavy. He's the bigger man, but I'm going to show that I could beat a bigger man. Not taking into account that Mayorga's maybe 403 now. Is Mosley acting desperate?
You asked him, of course he is.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I asked the question to get the response.
Come on, man. Come on.
I think I could have more money than him. It's close. I mean, if I go around to get raised up.
I mean, I heard that he still live in the same house where his wife, Jinky. Right? That she lives at the upstairs in the yard.
No way.
And he lives. Yeah, I'm reading about it. Yeah. And you know, it's got to be true. Ed Robinson told me. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's fact.
That's facts. Ed Robinson knows everything.
Okay.
Right? He lives in the basement of the yard. When she got we laughed for. When he got divorced, she kept the belt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you see all them kind of things there. I say, you see, I don't understand all these
she wants to give the belt to give the kids when they're older. Like, oh, here's the belt. So she's got the belts above her bed, like she won.
Well, the belts that he won. Hard grip.
Yeah, she got them. Yeah, I mean, when a new man's coming in the house, that's my ex-guy belts. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't worry about those. Don't worry about those. Lay there. See, I'm trying to say that's the limit. So Shane Mosley, who is, don't get to it, a beautiful human being though. I swear down. I met him enough times, and Shane's really cool, really cool. But he just ain't got no sense, man.
Yeah,
and the sad thing is this. The sad thing, I remember his first fight with Oscar De La Hoya in 2000. And Larry Merchant was saying that he's the closest thing that he's ever seen to Sugar Ray Robinson. Yeah. Right? In the way that he throws his so erratically. Yeah. You know what I mean? He had hands.
How much hand speed did he have?
That was ridiculous. Yeah. It was ridiculous. But he was also on juice. But I'm trying to say, but his hand speed was still ridiculous. Yeah. But you go look at it now, you see like these old guys just fighting, and then you're gonna be fighting like young guys coming up, and it is really sad to me. I hate seeing things like that.
It's sad. We've always talked on Boxtalk about there should be funding for boxers, like a retirement fund, i.e.
And who's gonna put that out?
That's the thing.
See, so much boxers nowadays make so much money in terms of the millions. Promoters make money. Sanctioning bodies make so much money. Yeah, everyone collectively could do something. Is it easy? No, it's not. But
that's why they're not going to do it then. That's why they're not going to do it.
Every other sport in the world can have some sort of...
Nobody's not going to do it.
Boxing doesn't.
Nobody's not going to do it. It should be. There should be something where you're saying, well, then there should be something given back to the boxers that they get and petrol fund, blah, blah, all the rest of it. Yeah. But it's for the boxers themselves to take down to themselves. When you say they should be, because what I'm trying to say, there is a lawlessness inside of boxing. Yeah. And people inside the game, and this one knows on every level, because I've done it on every level. I've done it as amateur, professional, trainer, trainer, promoter, of the manager. and they're all a bunch of bitches inside the game. So don't get twisted. They're all a bunch of bitches. It's a very envious kind of game. But like I said, you can't stop God's shine. So these guys who are earning or whatever you're earning, you should be thinking, well, let me just put down a little piece. Let me just do. I mean,
yeah, like other human beings.
Or they should start reading. I'll tell you, listen to any kid. Then this is like kind of go read the book Think and Grow Rich by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. You know what I mean? Go read that book. Go read The Richest Man in Babylon. Read that book, and it teaches you save 10%. Anything you earn, put down 10%. Try it. That's what I'm saying to you guys. You know what I mean? Think and Grow Rich, man. That's my plug.
This possibly could go in the boxing basement. Santa Cruz versus Abner Mares is going to have the WBC Diamond Belt.
It doesn't matter. The fight is excellent.
It's a good, decent fight.
It's an excellent fight. Come on, let's be real.
I've been waiting for Santa Cruz to step up. This is it now. And I'm waiting to see if Mars has still got it, which I definitely think he has. It's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
You know, it's got to a stage now with these belts, though, to be fair, where I would just turn off. Yeah. Like, for me, I just look at the names now. I'm not even looking at what belt's up for grabs anymore, because half the time I don't even know what some of these belts are. You talked about, what was the first fight? That New Zealand guy, Parker.
Yeah, Parker.
And he had all these, he had the African belt, you know what I mean? And we got these WBO regulars and internationals and silvers. Forget it, it's just two names now. Let them fight, it's a good fight.
I'm liking this with PBC, where they don't announce people as champions. You know that? They don't announce it at all.
What Al Heyman's doing?
Yeah,
Al Heyman looked at the formula that Dana White has done.
Yeah.
So say, I'm just doing it. Straight. I'm doing this. That is it. Forget everyone else. I'm gonna bring boxing to new age.
Yeah. I think you got Santa Cruz and Abner Mares, both good fighters. Santa Cruz needs to prove himself. Putting the WBC Diamond Belt on it, which is not a real belt, it has no value to the table. Devalues the fight.
No, it doesn't.
Devalues it.
No, because you're selling something as it's a world title, it's a diamond, but when it's not, just have a good fight for having a fight.
I don't think it devalues it.
That makes sense.
I don't know if it devalues it.
You're being too passionate, man. You're remembering like we had the KO magazine in 1982. Forget me. Boxing is not. We're not in that sport anymore. The sport is evolving. You know what I mean? Me personally, all I'm interested in is good fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for the, you know, like, oh, this guy's fighting for world title, that guy's, is it a good fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And furthermore, do I watch you when I'm seeing like certain guys fight? When I don't watch boxing for the sake of boxing. I'm watching what they're doing technically. I'm watching like what they're doing, how they're trying to line up.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. One day you guys sit down and watch a big fight with me. So wow, Spencer's like a bit spooky. I sit down and I watch this game. So I'm watching for what the things that you're doing or how you're trying to lull people into false insecurity and stuff like that. Now, that is a good fight. This is an excellent fight. Belts or put anything, that ain't gonna go in on base. Don't put it, please don't put it in the base. Because the fight is so excellent. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't matter what they could be fighting for my espadrilles. It don't make no difference. It's a great fight.
Great.
Alright then. Let's go with Victor Ortiz was arrested for they said deadly for assault.
Firearms.
They said what's the word they use?
It's sort of a deadly
weapon. It's a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
Do you know what the deadly weapon was?
What? His hands?
His foot.
What?
He apparently kicked the guy.
He kicked the guy.
And that was the deadly weapon.
Yeah, it's a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
He's a professional
kickboxer though. He's not a kickboxer.
It doesn't matter that he's not a kickboxer. He's a professional athlete.
That's the thing. Someone like him comes at you.
Yeah.
It's a different than a normal man on the street coming at you. That's Victor Ortiz.
And I watched him in Southpaw the other day. Have you seen Southpaw?
No, yeah, I'm gonna see.
Right, I watched him in Southpaw. I watched him in Southpaw, and I reckon that he looked very thick set on his legs right now. So if he kicks you, you're gonna feel it. That's what
undercard of GGG versus David Lemieux, which I think is a really good fight as well.
Yeah.
Possible. It sounds like
smashing.
Roman Gonzalez is on the undercard. Chocolito. Also Luis Ortiz. Heavyweight, the Cuban heavyweight.
Yeah, but Luis Ortiz was supposed to fight Brian Jennings, but Brian Jennings says he doesn't want none.
Doesn't want it.
Yeah, I want a bit more money. Don't want none of it.
I think
I'm telling you that Ortiz is a brute.
And technically underrated as well. I think he's a good asset if he gets in. Because what, he's 35. Yeah. He's only got a couple of years at his physical peak as a heavyweight.
Brian Jennings has come out though and said something like, "Look, it's my decision. This is I should be getting paid, rightly so." And I'm thinking, yes, you should be, but no one still already know who you are. You're not this big marquee heavyweight sensation that we feel, oh my god, but you should be getting paid. I wouldn't fight Luis Ortiz for nothing less than $500,000. I think that's what was offered, $500,000.
He's looking at the fighters like this. I just fought Vladimir. You know what I mean? He's the champ right now, not Deontay Wilder. He's the champ. That was on HBO. I'm now a star name. He wants something bigger. I don't think he's going to get much bigger than that.
He ain't going to get much bigger. He's got to take... I was impressed with him in that fight as well. You know what I mean? He's very sneaky. But you know what? I think Josh would knock him out, you know? I'm going to tell you.
I think
Anthony Joshua's on my... No, Spencer just gassed by Anthony Joshua. All right, good, I'm gassed by Anthony Joshua. That's right. I mean, Anthony Joshua broke him up. Remember, I'm telling you. Alright. I mean, especially if Anthony Joshua ever sits down and has a bowl of jollof rice... You know what I mean? You understand? I'm telling you, bro. Even have some pepper soup with some Gary. Yeah, with some Gary. No, fufu. With Gary. You know what I mean? The ground cassava. Punch up, man. Straight.
Nah, it looks like every muscle in his body looks like it's for a purpose.
Of course it is.
It looks like everything is the ones here, everywhere. Just look like
every muscle. I'm telling you, that guy he's on some designer food as well.
No, Josh is one of those big guys that he makes other big guys look small.
Yeah, exactly.
That is Prevail versus Anti-Collar rematch is going ahead.
Yes.
I think a deserved rematch. I think with the 2-point deduction,
he won the fight.
Yeah.
I had that 115 one. I had it 115, 112 or 113 to in Collar's favour. Yeah. Collar won the fight.
I like Collar a lot.
You know, but he's a wicked guy. We had him on a podcast 2 weeks ago. And he come in Sky Studios, and him and Scott Quigg, and they're just nice guys, man.
That's what I'm saying. They just look like.
No, but Collar, one thing I have to give Joel Gallagher, bare credit, because you don't see all these fighters. Them you study boxing, you know. Right, you could have them here with you, and them man will talk boxing. And they,
That's
you know
good.
what I mean,
You need to have that.
I mean, Scott Quigg was telling me he watches Tony Olala. I'm saying, what you know about them, man?
Can Collar repeat the performance?
Yes, he can. Yes, he can, and it's gonna be worse now. You know why? Because now, before he was fighting like a man possessed with the hands that he was throwing, and it was like, you know, like sometimes you watch them old black and white fights. You know what I mean? And like on the roll films, like you mean, like you're watching like when you watch Jack Johnson, and you're hearing like that was how he was fighting. Like it was kind of like weird hands he was fighting in that fight, right? Like he's fighting like it was an out of body experience. What's happened now is like he's saying, right, people starting to say like, well, did I belong in world class? I've proven to you now I do belong in world class, and he will go out and he will repeat that performance, but it will be better because you know what? Now he was sick with his punches.
Yes.
Like he said, right, you know what? I can crack a little piece on you now.
Can he crack? Do you think?
I think he can. But I think, whereas like before, you know what I mean, like especially when he's done at super featherweight as well, I think like he was trying to be too slick.
Yes.
But now he knows that I don't have to be too slick. Because when I turn up, I am slick, and that's the difference.
It's distinctive now.
He knows he's at world level now. I think that's the difference. And also, that was his first fight back since the injury. Now he's at that fight now. Everyone says he shouldn't have. He's at that fight now. He'll come again. When's it for?
They didn't say. I think maybe November.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right then, guys. That's it for this week in boxing. Spencer Fearon, thank you very much.
And remember this, I mean, when you walk with purpose, you collide with destiny. It means a lot for me to come on you guys' show, man. Trust me. I mean, I'm just gonna go and speak to millions of people on Wednesday for Sky TV. But I am so happy to be here. Now, seriously, big up, man.
Nah, I think
Spencer, a little Boxtalk t-shirt.
No, I don't want to tell. I'm wearing the next man, Brandon. That's what I say. Now, thank you very much, man. I can go and give this away to someone. No, thanks. No, thanks.
No, there you go, guys. That's this week in boxing. Again, thanks to Spencer for coming down. As we said, no fence sitting here, hard hitting facts, and Spencer lived up to it. The knowledge. Don't forget to watch all our other shows. Remember, Instagram, tweet, subscribe, and thanks for another edition of This Week in Boxing. Cheers.